You're now watching the Gobcast. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Gobcast, episode 107. Pretty crazy to say that high of a number. We're getting pretty far in here. But ladies and gents, we've got a wonderful, wonderful caller episode once again today, which I'm very excited to bring to y'all. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Drop a like if you do. Subscribe if you haven't already. And also, I know a lot of people are going to ask, how do I call into the show? It's very simple. All you got to do is follow me on Instagram at TheGBLN or on Twitter at TheGoblin with 3 N's on the end. I'll have those linked below. And if you ever have a day where you wake up and you just feel like calling in, you have a story you want to tell me, go check my Instagram story or my recent tweets. If you see me post my phone number that day, it's a great time to call me. That means I'm going to be in the studio and I'm taking calls and listening to voicemails. If you call me on a day where I haven't posted my phone number that day, I'm not going to hear it. So make sure you call me on a day where I post my number. A lot of people call me on off days and they say some really awesome stuff that I'd love to talk about, but it's on a day where I'm not even hearing voicemails, so I'm going to miss it. So make sure you go ahead and follow me on all my socials to stay tapped in. And I'm not going to waste too much time here in today's intro because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a thrilling episode today. And for the first time ever on the show, we have a follow-up call. We have an update on last week's episode. A lot of y'all who watched last week's episode may recall that we spoke to someone whose Hinge messages got leaked on Twitter. And that situation has erupted into complete chaos since we last spoke with you guys. And before I say my side of it and what has happened on my end, I'd like to go ahead and speak to our boy who got his messages leaked. We're going to give him a call in just a moment here. I've texted him, and he's ready to go. So let's go ahead and ring him up real quick. All right, it's time for an update from our friend who blew his chances on Hinge.
Hey, what's going on, Goblin?
Yo, you're on the Gobcast again. You mind being recorded?
Not at all.
I got to get your consent, dude, because your prospective Hinge match did not give me consent to screenshot the messages.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, how's that been? You know, we dropped the episode the other day. It's been a week since. Any updates? Has she contacted you?
She is not. All I've seen is that she put her profile on private and changed her profile picture, but she has not reached out to me. I haven't heard anything from anybody else, so nothing on my end.
Yeah, you know, we here on the show, we reached out to her and offered her a chance to come share her side of the story, and she was not very receptive to that. We blurred out all her personal info. We censored your name, you know, like you asked and everything. But I mean, it's the internet, bro. These people are fucking detectives. I mean, you can blur out everything.
Yeah.
And, like, they're just gonna find it. There's gonna be that one guy, you know, and
That's
someone
true.
found it, and she was messaging me very unhappy about it. So we took precautions to do what we had to do to censor her even further. You know, we deleted a couple comments and everything, even, which is something we normally don't do very much of. But then she actually got very mad at me. She got upset with me.
You're on the list too.
I'm on the list now. Yes. I offered her 3 times to call into the show. She declined the offers, which I do want to say I don't understand because she had an OF linked in the bio. So, like, this surely, like,
That's free money.
any businesswoman would be posting whole right now, right? Like, and instead, like, you already do it, you might as well make more doing it, you know?
That's what I'm saying is, like, hey, no publicity is bad publicity in that business, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I mean, I think it was a little fucked up of her to, like, crash out on me for, like, reading her public tweets when she posted them publicly to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't agree with that very much.
Yeah. That's what I was like. I was thinking to myself, I was like, if she's mad about this, like, there's no way. Like, she did it to me first. Like, she put me out there first, so.
So she has not reached out to you and she has not shown up at your work like you were scared about happening?
No, none of that has happened yet. But if something changes, I'll keep you posted on that.
Now, in the future, is this going to change how you use Hinge?
Definitely. Probably going to be a little more choosy in the future and probably give it a little bit more time before I start getting wild on the text.
There you go. No more bipolar eco-socialists.
Yeah,
No
I didn't even see her bio before. I didn't see her Twitter before.
You were looking at the PFP, bro. You clicked straight on the pictures. You weren't looking at the bio.
Exactly.
That's why you got to read, dude.
Yeah. I got to take a little more time next time. Do a little more investigative work.
I wish I could have mediated for you guys because I really would have loved a scenario where we got a happy ending and maybe you guys did go on a little date or something.
You know, if you were the one able to set that up, I'd have been so down for that. I was a little nervous about it at first because I was like, she's like crazy and she's gonna show up to my work and like do all this crazy shit. But after like watching the video and thinking about it, I was like, he really is giving me like a chance to like vindicate myself. So I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm so down.
Yeah,
I just feel very strongly in my side of things. So.
Well, you know, it's good to know that you're open-minded. Even after all that, even after reading her bio and seeing her post to you and then threaten to lure you to the woods and hurt you, you still were willing to go on a date with her if I mediated it. That's real.
Only for you, Goblin. Only for the content.
That's a beautiful thing, you know?
Only for the content.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, you know, if she reaches out to you in the future, I would just make sure that you don't take any of her invites because she might lure you out to the woods like she said she was going to do. Yeah,
she might drown me in the Big Red or something.
Dude, that was one of the craziest posts I've ever seen. I can't believe that. Wow. You know, stay safe out there on Hinge, dude. I appreciate you calling in and sharing that.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Goblin. You have a great day.
Of course. You too.
Thanks. Bye.
God, guys, I can't believe it. You know, for a little background, I said it briefly on the call, but yeah, the girl he was talking to, I had DM'd her initially and offered her the opportunity to come on the show and share her side of the story. And apparently she didn't see the DM, which is whatever. She responded to me after the episode dropped and had a little back and forth. And like, yeah, we censored all her stuff. I even deleted some extra comments that like were mentioning like stuff that could potentially identify her. You know, I mean, we did what we had to do, but also it's like, it's the internet. You posted those things publicly for anyone to read, and like on a public platform, I just don't. I'm a little confused on why it's like a problem now, you know. And one of the funniest parts of the message was like, she had said to me, she was like, "Oh, this is meant to be a small town drama," and it's like, yo, Twitter's not a small town. Like, you posted that fucking shit on the Twitter timeline. Like, this is not a small town, bro. Like, what do you mean the internet's not a small town? And like, your OF is linked in the bio. Like, you only show your hold to the small towners. Like, what do you mean? Like, you could be promoting that shit right now, and like, she's tripping on it. So I don't know, guys, but let's move along. Honestly, guys, I don't even know how to move on from that situation. That's something that I'm glad I'm not involved in. But the rest of the calls today, we haven't even talked about the topic yet. I posted on all my socials today that I wanted to hear about drugs, anything drug related. And I know our first call had nothing to do with drugs, but I promise you the rest of these sure do, because we have gotten some absolutely wonderful calls. I've learned my lesson. You guys don't want me to spoil them, that I'm not going to spoil. But what I will say is the next person we're about to speak to today is someone who crashed their rental Uber car into someone's house while off meth and Fent. Truly a wonderful call to start with, and one that I'm very excited to listen to. So let's go ahead and roll the voicemail real quick.
Hey, Goblin, I just got the notification that you're trying to talk about just drugs in general today.
That's right. Yep. He's staying on topic. I love that. I love that. Some of you guys need to take notes, dude. I'll post about drugs, and you guys call in. You're like, Goblin, dude, I'm in debt. What am I supposed to do? It's like, bro, it's not the day, you know?
So I got a little story about one time I was doing a car rental program that you can use for a rideshare service such as Uber. And I was high as on meth and fentanyl and had been awake for like 3 days. And then I crashed the rental car through somebody's yard and ran over a tree.
This sounds just like my DUI, but swap out meth and Fent for just a bottle of Ciroc. I also ran into someone's yard and ran over their tree, and It was not good. But I mean, speedballing while driving and being up for 3 days in the rental car is like next level degenerate. I crashed my shitty little beater, and I didn't potentially have a passenger in the car, which actually I wonder if he did.
And there's a lot of crazy details about it and repercussions that I'm still facing to this day about that, because it happened just a couple months ago. So if you want to know more about that, I can tell you about that. But
that's very
also, I used
recent.
to take upwards of maybe 12 or 15 Xanax bars per day, and I'm not sure if I have very many stories about that, because I can't really remember that period of my life due to how much Xanax I was taking every day. But
I don't want this guy to be my Uber driver.
I was selling weed back then and shit, and ecstasy, and let's see what else. I used to take like a bunch of.
He's just fishing for info at this point. He's just digging. I really want to hear about crashing your rental car. What do you mean you drove into someone's crib while you're speedballing? What's going on there? Let's ring him up.
Yo, Goblin, what the?
Yo, you're on the Gobcast. You mind being recorded?
Hell yeah, go ahead and record it, bro.
Yo, so I just got done listening to your voicemail, and I have so many questions about this rideshare car accident you got into. I don't even know where to start.
Shit. I'm sorry, what was that last part of that question?
I just said I don't even know where to start with how many questions I have for you. Like,
all right, well, let's see here. I could just start from the beginning if you want.
Go for it. Yeah, fill me in. How did this happen?
All right, so I was living in a bigger city than where I live right now. I moved since then, but in that city, I was fucking up pretty good, and I started smoking blues and shit. I was like doing a bunch of cocaine every day, like going to work and like sipping like 2 or 3 pints while I was at work, and like doing like a 20 bag of coke in the bathroom and shit.
Yeah.
And then eventually I started like smoking meth and smoking fentanyl, like the powder straight up. And then what did happen? Oh, I had like fucked up and I got evicted from my apartment. And yeah, shit was whack, bro. And then my homeboy, he told me about this program that you can do. I don't really want to say the name of the rental company, but if like anyone could just Google like rideshare rental near me and probably figure it out. But yeah, I was doing that. He told me about it, so I went, and like my homeboy's a real one because he paid the deposit for me. It's like I think a $300 or $400 deposit, but I was down bad, and he was like, "Bro, you gotta get your money. I'll get some motion." And I was like, "Thank you, bro." Mm-hmm. So then we went, we did the damn thing. I get the car. I'm doing all right. I was like sleeping in it, pulling up to like different gas stations like Maverick and shit, sleeping overnight and shit. And then like just all day, as long as because I think Uber only lets you do it for like 12 hours. So like as soon as the 12 hours ran out, I was kind of like doing my own shit. But honestly, between like passengers, I would like go to like, hopefully I'm not saying too much right now, but you could Google this, but in my old city, I used to go to this place called the War Zone, and then I'd pick up, and in between like taking people, I'd be ripping the bubble stupid crazy hard, and like just be nodding out in random ass parking lots
while you're driving passengers around.
No, like in between the passengers.
Okay, so would you like wait to sober up and then like go pick someone up?
Well, like, I would, like, nod out first, and then I'd be like, fuck, I'm too tired to do this. So then, like, I would, like, hit the bubble more, and I'd be like, all right, like, I got it together. I've regained the plot here. Mm-hmm. And, like, then I would maybe hit up a Red Bull or two, and then be like, all right, like, I got it together. And then I would, like, be driving around. Really, I would try to, like, not do it while, like, actively taking, like, passengers and shit. Like, in between passengers, I would try to just wait until really, I was feeling like withdrawals from smoking so much Fetty.
Yep.
And so, like, after a while, I was doing that consistently. Maybe like 3 or 4 weeks goes by. Well, no, maybe like it didn't really last that long because I was fucking up so hard out back then. It lasted maybe like 11 days or something. Mm-hmm. So, like, it was maybe 2 in the morning, maybe like 1. And then, like, I was supposed to take somebody to an airport. And then I was like, okay, I'm on my way, fuck it. And then I don't really remember like this happening, but I just woke up in the middle. Like I woke up like hitting. All right, so I was in this neighborhood, and I guess what happened is that I veered off to the side and like jumped the curb, but I like woke up like while I was already hitting this dude's tree. And like I was trying to hit the brake, but then I was hitting the gas and I was like, God damn it, like fuck, like
No.
I thought I was crashing through a wall, dude. I was like, oh fuck, dude, like I'm going through a fucking wall. This is terrible. But then like I somehow managed to sort of drive back to the street a little bit. Like I was halfway on the curb
Mhm.
and the front half of the car was like in the street and the back half was like on the curb. And then I was like, oh fuck. And so then like this dude immediately came out and he was just like, what? Are you okay? Like what's going on? And I was like, fuck dude, like I just fucked all my shit up. Like I was trying to like play it cool, so like I was like, damn man, like I just accidentally like I don't know, dude, like I've been awake like for a long time and I accidentally ran through like your tree because I fell asleep because I've been awake so long. And he's like, what? And I'm like, wait, yeah, that probably doesn't make sense, but like, yeah, it was an accident, dude. I really didn't mean to do this. And like, he was like, dude, I thought you were trying to like rob me. I thought you were trying to like, I thought I was getting robbed. I thought like somebody was trying to like somehow like get in through my garage or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, honestly, I just fell asleep while I was driving. And then he was like, okay, well, like, are you okay and shit? And I was like, yeah, like, I'm all right. But like, dude, like, I'm sorry about your tree. And he was like, well, honestly, it was kind of dying already. And like,
Oh,
I was going to
nice.
unplant it and like replace it. And like, so low-key sort of did me a favor. And then his wife came out and was all like, are you trying to rob us? And I was like, no. And like, dude, it was just fucking ridiculous. Like, then like he helped me push it into the street, like maybe one or two houses down, like on the other side of the street.
Mhm.
So I was like street legal parked or like legally street parked or whatever.
Yep.
But like the front two wheels were flat and I was all like, fuck, like I really don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, cause I have one spare, but I don't have anything to replace the other wheel with. And like all the shit was like smashed in, like the whole engine bay looked like it was maybe like 2 inches further back than it had originally been.
Oh my God.
And like at an angle too, like it was ridiculous, bro. And like all the plastic was like hanging down and out and shit. And like, dude, it was just fucking too much, bro. I was like, ah, damn it, like damn, like they're gonna ask what's going on with this car. And then I had made the first payment because you're supposed to pay every week, and then I fucked up somehow. And like,
what were your payments? Like, how much did you owe?
I think it was like 300 or maybe like 290 per week or something.
A week?
But yeah, bro, like
what the
ridiculous.
fuck?
But then like it was kind of okay because you could make like 800 or 900 a week doing that.
I mean, yeah, but like, bro, they're
that's like
scalping you.
Yeah, for real. Like if you make 800, that's a quarter of your money right there. Like
more, bro. That's like more than a third of your money. That's a lot, dude.
Yeah, but like it was all right for the time.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
better than nothing.
You know what I mean? I was able to wheel around. I was able to meet the dealer.
Yeah.
So then, like, whenever that happened, like, eventually that dude went back inside, and then like I ran like 2 or 3 blocks away and like threw away all the evidence of me, like all my tinfoil and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, then I like went back and I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And so then like I called my homeboy and I was like, yo, bro, like this, like the dude that told me about that program, I was like, bro, this shit is all fucked up. I done fucked up, bro. And like he was like, damn it, like I'm still working at the dispensary right now. Like I have to close, but I could be there in maybe like 30 or 45 minutes. And I was like, all right, sick, thank you. And then like I was trying to make the decision of like, should I call the insurance and report this, or should I just like say fuck it and just be like, just like ditch the car somewhere, or should I just like, all right, this was like the most ultimate like goofy tweaked out thing that had happened, but like I just decided like, nah, I'm gonna keep driving this fucking car and just like taking people on Uber.
Was it drivable in its like current state?
Well, at this point in the story, it was we still had to like replace shit. But I decided, I was like, no, I'm gonna slowly replace each part over time while it's
Okay.
drivable, and then like I won't like report it, and then eventually it'll just be like okay. And so then like my homeboy pulled up, and then I used his spare, I think is what we did, and then like we used my spare and his spare to replace the two flat front tires, and then uh, we drove it to this place, Big O Tires, and then like I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that they said whenever I was doing the paperwork for this that like I could basically take it here and they'll like replace shit for free and shit, so I don't have to pay for it. And then if I don't have to report it, then I'm just not gonna report it and just have them replace it. But then the dude was like trying to do it. Well, mind you, we took it over there at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Also, when we took it, I was still high as fuck, so I was still bumping into curbs and fucking shit and falling asleep while driving. And like my homeboy had to like keep calling me and being like, "Bro, like what are you doing? Like what is going on?" Like and I was like, "Fuck, bro, like shit, doing too much, man." And so like it was, bro, it was only like a half mile away, and I was fucking that shit up, dude. Like it was crazy. And then damn, finally we make it to Big Old Tires. The car's all smashed up and shit, looking ridiculous. It's like 2:30 in the morning or some bullshit.
Yep.
Like, so then he drives me back to his crib and he's like, all right, like first thing in the morning, like we're gonna go over there and like have them do this shit. And so then, god damn it, dude, we get there like basically 10 or 15 minutes after they open, and like all right, look, these dudes are on some bullshit, bro. Like, all right, so they were supposed to automatically take my payment every week. Hey, wait, chill. I'm on a phone call. Don't say anything crazy. Don't. It's just relax. What? All right, let me finish this phone call.
What's going on back
I'll
there?
chill here. Wait, bring liquor? Damn it. Oh, I'm perishing. All right, but yeah, that was my homeboy. He'd be coming over and like we'll like go and like drink and shit. But he's like, "No, you gotta get off the phone." But I'm like, "Damn it, I ain't doing that." But
Okay, so you take your
like,
car to get fixed, and like, what happens? They fix it up?
nah, they were like, okay, so automatically once a week on Mondays, the payment was supposed to come out of my account. And I even had the money in the, what are you doing? I'm on a phone call, bro. Wait, yeah, but could you like maybe come back in like 20 or 30 minutes or something like that? Because I also have to like do one other thing. Oh, no, yeah, cat food and a bag. Just a 20.
This whole phone call is a fever dream, dude. This is like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Ah, damn. That's why you don't rip the plug off.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I was telling my homeboy, I was like, bro, when you come back later, could you like bring some cat food and like bring a 20 bag? He's like, damn, I still owe the dealers, basically. That's what he was referencing. Like, I don't have anybody that's going to answer. I'm like, that's why you don't rip off the plug, bro. Like, stop doing that.
Wow, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, that's what I tell him. It's not good. But,
so you take your car and they don't fix it up because your payment didn't come out of your account?
yeah, I have no idea why, because I even had the money in the account. So then, like, I was like, fuck. And they were like, yeah, you don't have insurance, like, right now, so we can't do anything about this. And, like, I was really confused on what to do, because I was like, damn it, like, if I try to pay this, are they, like, I'm going to have to, like, report it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I figured at the time. But, like, now that I'm, like, not doing a bunch of, like, Fetty, it seems like I probably could have just called them, paid it, maybe, like, waited an hour, and then, like, tried to get it repaired again, like let the payment go through or whatever so they could see it, and then probably it would have gotten fixed. But I don't know what the fuck I was doing at the time. So then like the guy's like, yeah, we can't fix it. I'm like, damn, all right. So then we like just drive over to this place. What is it? Like a junkyard. And then we found like a permanent, like an exact like match on the wheel that my homie had lent me. But like one that like matched the car, I guess. Fuck, dude, I'm drunk as fucking like hella stoned right now, so I'm having a hard time catching my words. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So then like, yeah, like we did that, and then we put it back on, and then we were like still trying to find like some of the plastic pieces and shit, and like my homeboy's uncle is a fucking like mechanic and shit. So we were like, damn, like he could help us like fix all this and shit and try to help us figure out what we're gonna do about this engine bay situation, because that seems pretty serious. And then what happened? Oh no, yeah.
Let me ask this. Did you ever drive it again on Uber? Like, did you pick up passengers?
Oh yeah, I did for like another week. Maybe like another 10 days.
What's going on with the situation? Like, you got the car out of there. The cops never came, right? So you're just dealing with
the cops never came.
You're only dealing with repair issues. You're not dealing with legal issues from this.
Correct.
Oh, you're chilling, dude. You're chilling.
Well, now at this point in the story, correct, I'm not dealing with legal issues, but at this point in my life right now, currently, I'm like about to start dealing with legal issues.
Well, sure, but like you didn't get them from this. You're lucky. I mean, you almost crashed into someone's house. He just happened to be chill. You know?
Like eventually what had happened, like at the very, very end was like something in the wheel well was like making it to where the wheels couldn't like spin properly.
Okay.
And like I looked it up and like also talked to a mechanic, and he was like, eventually your wheels is gonna lock and like potentially like fly off of your car basically. And I was like, what the fuck? And like whenever it started to go silent, I read that that's like a big sign that it's about to do that type of deal. So then I was, driving and I noticed it started to go silent after a day or two. And I was like, well, this is kind of the end of the car until I can try to do something about it. And so like I drove to this gas station and like I left the car there. Well, like I stayed in it overnight and I was like smoking like a bunch of meth and a bunch of petty. And like I was just like, well, I guess, dude, I don't know. And like, damn, that parking lot was active as fuck. Like everyone out there was tweaking. That shit was like on another level. I was like, damn it, everybody needs to fucking take.
So wait, let me ask a different question though, because I think we're getting lost in like a side plot here. How did you stop smoking Fent?
One day I was on my way to work, but then I was like, damn it, I'm gonna stop off in the war zone. So then, like, mind you, I'd been sober for like 4 days. I was trying to stop. And then I just was like, nah, dude, these withdrawals are kicking my ass.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped off in the war zone. I picked up a 20 bag of synthetic. And then, like, I hit it. And I was asking the guy that sold it to me, I was like, well, like, I need to get, like, a 10 of some meth. And, like, he was like, okay, come over here. And so right before I, like, started walking, I took another hit. But, like, these were, like, some pretty, like, big hits. I didn't realize that my tolerance had gone down so much in those 4 days. So I took like 2 hits that I was regular to taking. And then I guess like I just like fell out in the street.
Damn.
And then I'm not sure how much time went by, but like I woke up and there was like, I think it was 3 or maybe 4 ambulance people standing around me. And they were like, bro, we had to give you 3 Narcans. Like you were like out. And I was like, damn, for real? And they were like, yeah. Do you want help? Like you should go to rehab and stuff to like not have this happen in your life. And I was like, no, I'm going to do something else. So then eventually they left. And then I called an Uber to pick me up. And then, like, I was still going to work. I was like, fuck, dog. Like, I still got to make money. It's okay that I just died. Like, shit, niggas got bills and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, I went to work. And they were like, bro, you're 8 minutes late. And I had already been, like, fucking up and shit.
Yeah.
By being late and shit. And so they were like, well, you're already on your last straw. This is basically it. Like, you just have to go home and, like, HR is going to contact you about if you have your job still or not. I was like, fuck. So then, like, I got another Uber back to my homeboy's crib. And then on the Uber there, like, I just called my mom and I was all like, yo, like, I need to, like, move from this city. I keep just, like, fucking up and, like, staying sober for, like, maybe 2 or 3 days at most. And then just, like, fucking up again. Is it okay if I like go like chill at your crib for a little while and get sober? And she was like, okay. So then like I moved like to this other city that I'm currently at. And like, yeah, I just like stayed on her like what is it? I stayed like on her couch for like maybe 2 days, and then I stayed in the guest bedroom for like maybe like another 10 days or something like that, maybe like another 12. And
Nice.
then maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after that, like I started like drinking liquor and like smoking weed again. And like, cause I'm like prescribed muscle relaxers for some bullshit called restless leg syndrome.
Okay.
And so I'd be popping those once in a while and like doing 20 bags like here and there. The only reason I'm really trying to do a 20 bag today is because like it's my birthday. I'm just like, oh, nice, hell yeah! Like this is a
Today's your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday!
Hell yeah, thank you, man.
Nice,
I turned
man.
the big 29.
Congrats! Good shit, dude.
Hell yeah, thank you. Appreciate you.
Nice.
Helped me through a couple of years there back in the past. I'd be listening to the Coke Chronicles and everything and being like, wait, yeah, hell yeah.
Well, hey, man, you know, I got to say, it's really great to hear that you're clean off Fent, you know, and I'm glad you got a wake-up call. And, you know, it's interesting to hear that you were able to just kind of do it on your own without going to rehab. But, I mean, whatever works for you is what works for you, you know?
Yeah, that was like my maybe fourth or fifth time, like, quitting, like, fentanyl.
Yeah.
But this is, like, the first time that it's actually lasted more than, like, I want to say, like, 2 months.
Do you think that this is going to be something that, like, you can make permanent one day where you're going to be completely sober besides, like, obviously maybe smoking weed?
That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm really trying to do. Like, I feel like I would like to do on special occasions, like maybe New Year's or like my birthday or some bullshit like that. It would still be fun to do like, grab like some opiate pills and do like a cold water extraction method and like just get the liquid itself and then make some homemade lean or some shit like that just for fun, just to fuck around. But like aside from that, I'm trying to just be like a daily like smoker and nothing else.
Nice. Well, you know, I wish you the best of luck in that, and I hope that works for you, dude. Opiate addiction is a bitch.
Yeah, it's a real bitch. I used to be addicted to Xanax. I used to be popping like anywhere from like 10 to 15 a day. That shit was ridiculous.
That's also a real bitch.
Those withdrawals didn't feel cool. Yeah, for real. But like the opiate withdrawals really kicked my ass. Those Xanax withdrawals suck, but damn, those opiate withdrawals, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro, that was too much. I'd have to be calling out of work and shit, using my sick time.
Well, you know, hey, man, I got to say, I wish you the best of luck, and I appreciate you calling in, and hopefully you, in the future, maybe drive Uber sober if they ever let you do it again. Did you get banned off Uber for any of this, or like, are you good?
Oh, no, yeah, like on Uber, I'm good, but with the car rental company, they're starting to hit me up, and like their insurance people are hitting me up like every day, like on email and text, being like, wait, we need to talk to you about like this incident apparently that happened. And I'm like, oh, shit, like, I just keep ignoring it and being like, bro, I don't have no money for a fucking lawyer. Like, y'all can fuck straight the fuck off.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, dude, when I was really down bad and like getting hit up every day by people who were after me, yeah, best strategy is just don't answer anyone. You know, just fuck them. Deal with it later. You know, so
for real, just fuck them.
Fuck them. Deal with it later. Well, you know, I wish you the best of luck with that, dude. And if you ever figure that out, what they're calling you about, you should call in the future and give us an update.
Hell yeah, dude, definitely. Wait, what episode is this going on?
107.
107. Fuck yeah. Okay, hell of a swag.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you, bro.
Well,
you have a good rest of your day.
on the show. Likewise, and I wish you the best success in everything, dog. I've been watching you for years. Like, bro, you're like the best.
Thanks, man.
Good vibes, G.
I really appreciate that. You have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too.
Damn, I mean, that... First, if you took a shot every time that guy said like, you'd be dead of alcohol poisoning by 3 minutes into the call. And two, I like the way that guy said yeah, because he'd just be like, yeah. What a fucking... how on earth is that guy able to drive Uber? This guy's like, yeah, I've been up for 3 days. I'm ripping the bubble in between passengers and parking lots. Like, what? He drove Uber after with this dented ass fucked up whip? Like, who the fuck? They need to do some vetting of these drivers. That is terrifying. Imagine, I mean, first off, I'm not going to lie. If this guy rolls up in his dented ass car that smells like Fent, like straight blues, just smoked synthetic chemicals, and you hop in the back seat, you might have done it to yourself. You know, I mean, I don't know. When it comes to calling an Uber, I'm judging the book by its cover. But I'm more so amazed that guy was even allowed to drive Uber. And like the financials of that rental business he's talking about are crazy. That seems so predatory. $300 a week rental that they gave to someone who presumably has not great credit. I mean, let's be real. I don't know anyone who's speedballing while driving Uber for 3 days straight that has a credit score anywhere over 600. And like, they must not give a fuck who they rent those cars out to as long as they get their payments every week. Weekly payments is also like very like, that sounds like a real predatory loan. I don't know, guys. I don't like how that sounds. But either way, hey, I hope that guy is going to get out of that one day, although probably not without a lot of money. Imagine the interest rates on that too. Holy fuck. It's got to be crazy. Like imagine the missed payments. The late fee is probably $2,000 and they got his name on paper signing for it. Either way, though, the next call we have here is from someone who did something very interesting. This guy got himself kicked out of the Army intentionally because he regretted joining and says that he didn't fit in with his other squad members. So let's listen in.
Goblin, I know every time I call over here, I got some bullshit and you never call me back. That's understandable.
My bad.
But this time, I actually got something for you, man.
Okay.
Drugs. I'm going to tell... Man, so when I was back in the Army, this is like 2022 to 2024 era, right? Hated it. The sergeant was an asshole. I didn't fit in well. Everybody bitched at me all the time. I was always getting everybody fucked up. I hated that shit. But they wouldn't let me quit. However, one day I found out that you can get kicked out via smoking weed. So I was like, what? That's easy as fuck. So I did that shit. And I want to tell you about it. You got to call me back for the full story, though, dude. Peace.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I'll call you back right now because getting intentionally kicked out of the Army, that's a dishonor. Is that not illegal? Like, I thought you can't just do that, can you? Fuck, dude. I get it, though.
Hello?
Yo, you're on the Gobcast. You mind being recorded?
Not at all, man. What's up?
What's going on? I heard you got yourself kicked out of the Army.
Yeah, so that actually happened a little while ago.
Okay.
How this all started was I was walking through high school one day, and I seen the recruiter, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll sign it. And I signed it, and fucking whatever. A couple days later, they actually hit me back, and I'm like, okay, cool, fuck yeah. They actually hit me back. So I decided, fuck it, I went all the way through and all that.
Why though? Like, what drove you to, like, you didn't want to go to college or anything else?
No, I wasn't. I still don't want to go to college, dude. Like, I don't know. I still don't know what the fuck I want to do with my life, dog.
Yeah.
But, at that point, I was just like, fuck it, maybe this is the route I'll go. We'll try this out, you know? But, I went all the way through, got through basic, or didn't get through it, really. Anyway, so that's kind of what started all this, actually, in basic. So the first time I went through, sucked shit.
Mm-hmm.
All day, every day, just shit. I was getting the whole platoon fucked up because I couldn't keep up, all that, blah, blah, blah. And I was always getting told I was a piece of shit. So anyways, I fucked up enough to the point, and since I wasn't still in high school, they couldn't, like, send me all the way through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, hold on, sorry, I gotta remember. So yeah, they sent me back home, finished fucking... My bad, I just took a dab. Fuck, dude. Yeah, I was... Jesus fucking Christ. This dab's hitting the fuck out of me, dude, my bad.
So you went back to basic, and, like, what happened? It didn't go well, or, like, why did you want to leave? Like, what happened?
I got what's called recycled. So basically, you fail enough of the training where they, like, put you back with a different company, and then you continue.
So you had to go back because you fucked it up. That's not a normal thing.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second time around,
like injuries and shit.
The second time around, you get recycled, and, like, that doesn't go well either, presumably.
So the second time was actually really cool. It was the exact opposite of the first time, and
Mhm.
I thought I was gonna go through and be like, oh fuck, maybe I do want to go through the Army, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be cool and shit. And then I actually fucked up my ankle. I got what's called a bone stress injury. I just ran too hard, and it was like, dude, my ankle's like the size of a fucking baseball, bro. It was bad. Even the drill sergeants were like, yo, what the fuck?
Mhm.
And so I was on crutches for a few months, and they're like, hey, we got to recycle you, dude. And I was like, fuck, dude.
Again?
Yeah, I was like, they was going to send me back to day one. I'm like, and they were like, to the last part of the training, too. They're like, the very last test.
Mhm.
So I was like, dude, I'm not going through fucking all that again. Hell no, I want to quit. They were like, all right, yeah, we'll see what we can do. So I was like, all right, cool. There was a bunch of waiting around because the civilians in the Army, dude, they take forever to process your paperwork, dog.
Yeah.
Like, they don't give a fuck. But they got back to me, and they're like, dude, even if we wanted to, which we do, we can't let you leave. We have to recycle you. So I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to be in the Army. What do I do? Get your fucks, dude. So I was like, hell no. I had to formulate a plan.
Mhm.
And so I ended up having to get recycled. I went to this third company, met all my friends, all that shit. And so we got through, and it was up until Christmas break, because I had already failed one drug test. I forgot to mention that. I already failed once because I was smoking all the way up until then. I didn't give a fuck.
How often are they drug testing you?
It was actually by coincidence. We just got randomly selected one day.
Oh, shit.
Just purely by chance. And so I was like, all right. It was coming up to what's called holiday block leave, which is where you go home for 2 weeks for Christmas.
Mhm.
And so I was like, all right, what I'm going to do, my master plan, is I'm going to smoke some weed.
Hell yeah.
And that's it. Because all they had to do, they were told us straight up, hey, when you get back, we're going to drug test you. Because, you know, you're out in the civilian world and you're a fucking trainee, you're a retard.
Yeah.
I was like, bet, that's my out. And so that's all I had to do. I just smoked some weed. And, dude, after the drug test, all that, it took them like, I think a month to get back.
Mhm.
And they got back like, hey, you popped hot, we're kicking you out. Outside, I was just like, oh no, that sucks, not bad. Inside, I was doing backflips. I was throwing I was doing all kinds of crazy shit. I was hyped. Dude. And then...
What happens
dude,
when they kick you out? Like, do they reprimand you, or like, does anything negative happen to you, or is it like a get out of jail free card?
Kind of a get out of jail free card. You have to go through a bunch of legal shit. That's what really fucking sucked. That shit sucked for it, because... Dude, Army legal, they take forever, dude. It's all civilian lawyers, dude.
Mm.
Like, I had to go through what's called CID. Then I had to, it was just all sitting around and waiting, dude. They would just have me fucking sit around cleaning shit all day.
Oh, so you're still, while you're in the process of getting kicked out, you're still like in the Army and like, on base, it sounds like you're like cleaning shit for them and still doing work.
Yeah, no, they had me held up in my own, like our own little bay and shit. They like wouldn't give us our phones until once the company, because the company was still training, and we were just fucking off to the side watching them get fucked up. Because I didn't have to do all the push-ups they did though. That was kind of lit. But there was one drill sergeant that had to like patrol all of us because there was a couple other people that quit for different reasons. His name was... I don't want to air him out. Yeah. This dude might low-key track me down and kill me, bro.
Okay.
We're going to call him Drill Sergeant Steve.
Okay.
Drill Sergeant Steve was a piece of shit, dude. He would tell me I didn't deserve shit. He would always... And, like, it was fair, because like, I was like, all right, you know, I got kicked out for smoking weed. I got to kind of go through with it, whatever. This dude just took it and fucking ran. He did the full... he made me fucking sleep outside a few times. He made me do all the bitch work. This dude would single me out for fucking everything. What do you mean
sleep outside? Like, did you get a pillow or a sleeping bag at least, or are you just in the grass?
He gave me a cot, but I can get a pillow. I got a cot. Oh. I got the sleeping bag I had, but like it was outside, you know.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it, dude. You're going camping, you know.
I hated that shit. It was outside in Georgia in the summer, dude. Mosquitoes out there are big as fuck.
Oh, yeah, fuck. That's brutal.
Dude, the bugs and the snakes and shit are not worth it. And there was fucking wild hogs and shit that would walk up to you at night and shit.
They're letting wild hogs roam the fucking military base?
Dude, they do. They can't do anything about it. Like, they can't legally just go shooting on base whenever they see one. Like, dude, that's another thing. I'm going to talk about that for a sec, actually. There was one time we were out shooting, and they told us, hey, if a deer or some shit runs across the range, don't shoot it. It's a huge legal problem.
Mm-hmm.
One fucking day, whoop-de-doo, a huge buck comes running around, some asshole shoots it right in the neck, downs it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that guy got fucked. He had to get recycled because he was waiting on legal paperwork. He was with me in a group. He damn near got kicked out for that shit, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, bro.
Damn. That's fucked.
It was.
I mean, don't shoot the deer, to be fair, though, you know?
Right, that was like the one thing we couldn't shoot.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, I mean, I'm glad you got out at least. It sounds like you're, better off not being
dude.
there. It sounds like you didn't enjoy it.
So much happier. I was never more depressed in my life than when I was in the Army.
Well, I appreciate you calling in and sharing, and hopefully you, don't get tracked down and killed by the drill sergeant you were talking about.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
You have a good rest of your day.
See you, Gobby. I appreciate you calling, man.
Yep. Bye-bye. Man, I'm not going to lie. It just sounds like that guy wasn't made for it. I don't know. He went in too deep, signed up when he didn't mean to. And we've heard quite a few of these calls on the show before. It's far from the first person who's talked about joining the Army and highly regretting it. But going out of your way to get kicked out, I guess if you're getting recycled 3 times, it makes sense. That especially the second time around, if it was because of an injury, that would frustrate me a lot. So I guess I understand where he's coming from. I have some sympathy for that. But the next call we have, so the next voicemail we have to listen to is from a viewer who seems to be concerned about my mental health. So let's go ahead and listen in.
Hi, Goblin.
Hello.
I just wanted to call and thank you for everything that you've done for me and the community.
Of course.
Your support has been super helpful. Some dark days. I just wanted to ask you how you are able to mentally handle all of these questions. Some of the Q&A sessions.
Kirkland Canadian whiskey, Swiss Perk bong, fill in the blanks from there. No,
are my favorite
keep listening, really.
Podcasts to listen to. They make me feel a little bit less alone, but I know that can be really heavy, especially if you're listening to so many voicemails for the caller episodes. Of course, the topic is drugs, and I guess my commentary to all of that is drugs can be so dark, and addiction is so heavy.
That's correct.
And you deal with that and are kind of known as the drug guy. And I know you've gone through a lot personally. So I just am wondering how you navigate that and deal with that. And
listen, it's quite simple, actually. I'll tell you right now. I've been doing this for a long time, even before the podcast stuff. I've been making YouTube videos and posting them for strangers on the internet to comment on and share and see and criticize for like over half of my life at this point. I started making YouTube videos when I was like 12. And I started getting traction with them. Not traction, but like traction in the sense of like enough to get like 10, 15 comments every video. When I was young, I was like 14 and I started getting, a couple hundred views every video, get 10, 15 comments, So like for me, I think I'm just very conditioned and like used to just treating interactions on the internet, reading comments and listening to voicemails and speaking to people for what it is, an interaction with a person I don't know. I mean, it's kind of easy for me to be like, hey, like objectively, this situation sucks. Hearing this might be unfortunate. It might make me, sad for them or wish the best for them, but like it doesn't affect me. It doesn't weigh me down. It's not the same thing as like someone like a family member coming to me and saying, "Hey, I know this." And it is that way because realistically, if I started taking all these voicemails personally and getting upset, dude, I'd probably kick the chair out from under me. I mean, I get a lot of voicemails every week. We get over 1,000 every single week at this point. And if I took them all personally, it just wouldn't go well. And I don't think I'd also be able to give good commentary on the calls if I was taking them personally. A lot of people's situations, like, I can have empathy for and be like, hey, that sucks objectively, but it's not going to keep me up at night. It's not. The same way that, for a lot of you guys watching this, if I told you guys something about me, like, that sucks. Let's say one day I came here and I was like, guys, I fucking got in a car crash. I broke my leg. You would be like, oh, that really sucks. I hope you get better. But like you're not losing sleep. You're not tossing and turning like, dude, Goblin is limping right now. Goblin's on a crutch. He can't fucking walk. Like, you've never met me. You don't know me personally. So you're not losing sleep over that. I hope, honestly. If you are, I'm a little scared about that. But that's how it is for me. I just think I'm not like enough of a empath to really have it weigh on me. Doing what I do here. And I enjoy listening to this stuff, I think some of people's like worst stories later on when they get better and they deal with drug addiction and handle that stuff become some of their coolest stories and some of the best stuff to share. So, it's just talking to people that are at different stages in their lives. That's all, Like the guy we just spoke to earlier this episode who's talking about crashing into trees and nodding off from speedballing for 3 days straight while driving Uber, Like, that guy is not destined for getting fucked, Like, that story might be sad in the moment, might be sad right now, but it can become a great story in the future when he's clean and living a good life. You know what I'm saying? So I think you just have to look at it optimistically. That's my 2 cents. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to something pretty bleak. We're going to talk to a fucking victim. The next person we're going to talk to is a 16-year-old who just had a kid with a girl in her 20s. And, that sounds like a victim to me. So let's go ahead and listen in.
So, I had a kid like 2 days ago, Brett.
That's not good.
But basically, I hooked up with this girl after me and my girlfriend broke up on...
Listen, that might be the single worst way I've ever heard someone start the story of having a kid a couple days ago. I hooked up with this girl after me and my girl broke up. All right.
Acid, cocaine, and mushrooms.
On acid, coke, and mushrooms. You got groomed on 3 drugs. She drugged you and groomed you and gave you a little groom baby. What?
I accidentally got her pregnant. And then, what's it called? I found out that she had a boyfriend who was in the Marines and military.
I'm sorry.
So, what's it called? She ended up blocking me on everything, and then she moved 3 states away, and she just had my kid, and she broke up with her boyfriend. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. But I don't really know, because I had sex with her and had the kid when I was 16, and she is 22. So, I don't know, man. You let me know.
She's 22, he's 16. That's a big age gap. Like, when you're older, when you're in your 30s or something, that doesn't matter. When you're 40, like 16 and 22 is huge. A 22-year-old's not even in the same league mentally or physically as a 16-year-old. That's like, what? No. Oh, God. No, nothing's funny about this. Nothing's funny. This poor victim. Let's speak to him right now. Someone needs to call Child Protective Services, dude. This kid's getting fucked by adults.
Yeah, hello?
Yo, you're on the Gobcast. You might be being recorded?
Oh, shit. Yeah, my bad.
Yo.
Hey, you good?
I just listened to your voicemail, dude. You sound like a victim.
What do you mean?
A 22-year-old? You had sex with a 22-year-old at 16 and had a kid?
Yeah. 2 days ago.
That's a big age gap, bro. She's grooming you.
I don't think so, dude. It's a pretty good fucking time. We had a 3-.
Okay. All right. You're not a victim.
Exactly.
Okay, nice. Oh, so you fuck with it. Okay, nice. Cool.
Fuck with it. Exactly. I always love older women.
Cool.
Always love older
nice. What is it about the older women you like? Why a 22-year-old?
I don't know. I've always been older. I feel weird fucking with younger people.
Okay, cool.
Always been older.
Cool. All right. So tell me about this hookup, this little one-night stand. How'd you meet this girl? What happened?
So, what's it called? Me and my girlfriend broke up, and I was on call with my homeboy, and I was just scrolling through looking for bitches, and I hit up this girl.
Scrolling through what? Like Instagram or what?
Yeah, it's Instagram.
Okay.
And I saw her. I hit her up. She was down. I went over there, and I stayed one night, and we didn't do much. We just did mushrooms. But then it evolved into me spending, I think, a week and a half there straight.
Really?
And it was just a whole bender, yeah. And then the last day I was there was the day I found out she had a boyfriend, because her boyfriend's mom pulled up to the house, and I had to hide in her bedroom butt-ass naked.
What? Who's her boyfriend? Tell me about this. Why is mom pulling up to the
I really don't know her boyfriend. I didn't know. I wasn't asking him any questions. I was there for one thing. But apparently the dude's a fucking Marine, and he was deployed during the time. And now, because what's it called? 2 weeks after the whole hookup thing, because we had been in contact after that, I hit her up because I couldn't get an acid plug, and I was like, "Hey, can you give me your acid plug?" And she wouldn't respond to me, and I really wanted that acid plug, so I kept hitting her up. And she finally got back to me, and she was like, "Oh shit, I'm pregnant. That's why I've been talking to you." I'm like, "Well, that's a fucking issue. It's not mine." And she said it wasn't mine. I'm like, "Okay, I got you."
Oh.
But I hate to be like this, dude. I'm pretty sure it's fucking mine. All the math adds up, and I didn't pull out a single fucking time.
Oh.
So, and I was hitting it almost every night I was there.
I mean, bro, a girl, like a 22-year-old girl who's fucking 16-year-olds might be fucking a few of the 16-year-olds.
I know, dude. I feel you, man, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm dreading the text I'm gonna get from her. Hopefully, I don't get one.
So you get her pregnant,
I think I didn't.
And she just kind of dips off from there. You're not in contact, or what?
Yeah, she lives 3 states away now, and apparently the dude is like raising the kid now.
How did you find out? How'd you find out the kid was born?
She posted on TikTok.
No. And she hasn't reached out to you since the kid was born at all, and been like, "Hey, like."
Hell no. She hasn't reached out to me since she got pregnant.
So you might have a little. Do you know if it's a boy or a girl? Do you know anything?
It's a boy. It's a boy. Yeah, I know that much.
You might have a little son out there.
I know, dude.
With a whore mother, a whore groomer mother.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think she also gave me meth. So.
Wow, that's not a good. Is the guy back from deployment now? Like, is he?
Yeah. She's been posting shit with him and everything, and he thinks it's fucked up because me and him look almost exactly alike. So,
dude, oh my god. I mean, listen, my only commentary on this situation: A, this whole situation is disgusting. Okay. B, I'm not gonna tell you should or shouldn't, but if you chose to hit that guy up and fill him in that kid might not be his, I don't think it would be the wrong decision.
But he's a fucking Marine. He's gonna kill me. Someone's gonna tell me, like, "Hey,
dude,
you were deployed, and for a week and a half, I was 16 over at your girlfriend's house doing cocaine, mushroom, and acid to get her pregnant."
He'd rather know that. I mean, I don't think he. Wait. How many kids? How many kids does this girl have?
This is the first one.
Oh, okay. So this is the first one, and they're raising it.
Yeah. So.
No, you have to tell him. If they had a couple other kids, like, all right, he could blend in, but like the one kid that's not even his, like, no, dude. You should hit him up you should hit him up from a burner at least, and be like, "Me and all the boys are fucking your girl." Just like be vague about
That's
it.
Weird, man. I don't want to be that guy. Because I didn't even know. I didn't know till last.
Yeah,
day.
sure. I mean, you don't have to at the same time, but like, man, that's heavy, dude. That guy deployed.
Heavy.
Fucking went.
I'm pretty sure he bought a crib with her too.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking heavy. Do you ever let's say one day you find out somehow, some way this kid is actually yours. Do you want to be involved in the kid's life at all?
Dude, I'd be down, but I thought about it. I talked about it with my homeboy LP, but he was telling me the same thing. Even if you try me in that kid's life, his mom's going to go to fucking prison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit of a dilemma there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation because on one hand, you have a get out of jail free card for a situation you didn't sign up for. Like, she's
I
not
did
even
try to.
trying to get you involved. Like, you signed up to hooking up with her, but you didn't sign up to having
for
a
sure.
kid and, like,
Hell no.
the whole rest
Hell
of
no.
that. Although, like, you said you didn't pull out, and that's your own damn fault. So maybe you did. But
Hey, I'm sorry, dude. I couldn't. I was too
don't
fucked up.
apologize to me, dude. You got to apologize to that kid. Don't apologize to me.
Dude. I sent you the matter of fact, my homeboy just sent me the photo of the kid. I can show you him.
I mean, we don't got to air out the baby on here. You know, if he's on TikTok,
You
people
don't
can
want to
find
air
him.
out the baby? I got you.
If she's
That is
posting him on
true.
socials, people can find it. We don't want to do that, but
Dude, what's even crazier was after that popped on my For You page, you know, I'm a little nosy fuck, went deep diving. 2 days before that, the bitch was twerking in the hospital pregnant.
Did she know how old you
Yeah.
were when you hit her up?
Not really. She never asked. So I didn't tell.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, if you told her how old you were, do you think she still would have been down?
I have no idea. That's why I didn't mention it. Never got brought up.
Is this the biggest age gap you've hit, or is there a bigger achievement?
Yeah. Biggest, for sure.
Nice.
I've done 19 and 20 before, but 22.
That's
yeah,
that's not nothing. You know, but yeah, 22. Yeah, that's illegal. That is actually illegal. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you know, hopefully, you don't.
Hopefully the kid's not mine.
Yeah, I hope the kid's not yours for sure. And hopefully Ma stops fucking minors. You know, that would be good. So
We're fucking everybody.
well, best of luck with that. You know, maybe pull out next time.
I'll try.
Thank you for calling in, dude. You have a good rest of your day.
You too, man.
Bye-bye. Fucking he reminds me a lot. When I was younger, me and all my friends thought this was very cool, but I had a friend named I can't use his real name because I refer to him in stories. We called him Isaac in the stories, and I don't know if he'd want his real name used, but Isaac used to really love hooking up with older women, and like it wasn't like he'd constantly have a lot of fun. But I remember there was one chick that he was like go see all the time. He would like give him money to bring back, who was like we were like 18, so it was legal, you know, like we were freshly out of high school. This fucking guy was cracking like a 40-year-old, I think, actually, like 20 plus, over twice our age easily. And like you could tell she probably does that shit, bro. She probably goes to like high school graduations and just hawks them down, you know, just goes for it. That's like, but 22 and 16 is like, and you live with a guy and he's in the army. That's crazy. I feel like I've seen so many like horror stories of dudes in the army whose girls at home are just getting like Eiffel Towered by any dude in the same zip code. Like, fuck. I don't know what the lesson is there. Don't go to the army. Don't get with a whore. I couldn't tell you guys. I couldn't tell you. But either way, the next voicemail we have is from someone who wants some advice on going on a tea break. Let's listen in.
What's going on, Goblin?
Hey.
This is take two.
Take two.
I want to talk about how I'm going on my first tea break from weed.
Nice.
Like an actual tea break. Since I was 14. It's been like 3 years. Yes, I want to talk about that. Maybe that's some advice for me. And also I got some cool mushroom trip stories I'd also want to talk about. Call me back. Love you.
I like how he had to do 2 takes to get that out. Like that was the shortest, like sweetest message ever. He was just like, yeah, I'm taking a tea break. Listen, I've taken breaks from things in my life, but the only real tolerance break from smoking weed that I've ever done was when I was on probation. At the end of 2016, I got sentenced for felony retail theft because I stole a bunch of shit from Walmart and got arrested in broad daylight, 5 p.m. on a Friday. I was really drunk when I did it. But I went through the courts, got sentenced to a year of probation, and I had to stop smoking weed because I was getting drug tested every month. And if I violated, then I was going to have to go to juvie for a while. Well, no, it was jail at that point. I was old enough to go to jail at that point. And, you know, I would have fucked up my whole probation on top of whatever other thing I got. So when I first stopped smoking weed, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stop doing any drugs. When I first got sentenced to probation, I just kept doing everything, and I was like, fuck it, man. They're going to do what they're going to do, but like, I'm not stopping. Fuck it. I don't know if it was because I couldn't stop physically and mentally, or because I didn't want to. Because it was bigger than just smoking weed. It was like a total, like, I didn't stop doing any drugs. I just love getting fucked up every day. I wasn't addicted to any one drug. I was addicted to getting fucked up. Like, that's what I loved. So, well, until cocaine came around. But either way, so I obviously, eventually had my big bad acid trip that sent me to rehab, which you guys have heard about. I'm not going to tell the whole story. After I got out of rehab from that stint, which was I spent 2 months in rehab, I had to go completely cold turkey, stop smoking weed. And the only thing that I think allowed me to do it was the fact that I was in rehab for 2 months leading up to that at that point. If I had just tried to stop on my own, there was no way I ever would have done it. But even when I stopped, I kept pissing dirty because I was a bigger dude and I smoked so much. It took me over 3 months to get all the THC out of my system on a urine test. And I did not smoke it all during that time. Now, it was really difficult once I got out of rehab and got back into like my normal routine to avoid smoking because all my friends smoked. It was the only thing I did all day, and all my favorite activities involved smoking. If I was playing video games, I was smoking. If I was eating dinner, I was smoking right before. If I'm like fucking doing even mundane things before bed, bro, I'm fucking smoking before I wake up. Like I want to get a little morning breakfast, I'm smoking before wake and bake every day. That was my routine. I loved it, So my way that I tolerated my tea break was I started doing harder drugs. I started doing far harder drugs. And, an interesting thing throughout my life that I've noticed is like tolerance breaks are cool. I didn't smoke for almost a year straight when I was on probation. I was still doing other stuff. Like I would take Xanax and, that stuff gets out of your system quick. I had taken Molly, was on probation, gets out of your piss quick. And I knew in advance what my drug tests were going to be. I knew like the exact day, like at least 2 weeks in advance, right? So I get off probation. I smoke weed for the first time in a year. And that special low tolerance, that real low tolerance that I thought I had built up over the year and was going to last for ages, lasted maybe 2 days. The first time I'd smoked in a year, I hit a blunt one time. It was high as fuck. And it did genuinely feel like my first time getting stoned again. It was pretty close. It felt like I had been chasing the dragon all those years, and finally I touched his tail for the first time, since I had first interacted with him. But it didn't last long. And like just a couple days later, I was full swing back to smoking normally again. Like nothing had ever happened and nothing had ever stopped. And the reason I explain all this is because I don't have any advice for how to take a tea break. I don't think tea breaks are worth taking. I think if you're taking a tea break, like for the sole purpose of just getting higher, you're going to be sorely, sorely disappointed. You need to try different smoke. You need to try better weed, and you need to smoke more of it if you're not getting high enough. Sure, maybe taking a tea break will short-term achieve the effect you want, but in my opinion, the time invested, like the amount of time in weeks and months even that it takes to lower your tolerance enough to feel it again just for a couple days, is just not worth it. I'm a guy who smokes weed every single day. I smoke a lot of it, and like I get as high as I want to be every day, because if I take a rip and I'm not where I want to be, I just take another one, and I'm smoking good enough weed that I know I enjoy. I think the key for me, and it's gotten me to a point where I get as high as I need without needing a tea break, is just knowing what works for me. Every time you get weed, you need to know the strain, you need to know the terp profile, and you need to know what flavors and terp combinations you enjoy. For me personally, I love that stinky, rotten garbage, gassy weed. I love smoking GMO and anything crossed with GMO. I just love that stink. I like OGs a lot, and I don't like candy. I don't want that purple gelato. I don't want that fucking keep all that shit. That's for me. And once I had dialed in my tastes and dialed in my palate and understood what I like to smoke, I have no problem getting as high as I want every day. I get fucking ripped all the time, dude, because I'm smoking what I know my body likes and what I know works best for me. And weed is a very diverse thing that like different strains work better for different people. You and I can hit the same blunt and we will have totally different experiences, and that's just how it is. I don't think tea breaks are worth doing. I really don't. They're just not, fuck a tea break. So that's my input for you, brother. Any advice on tea breaks? Fuck that shit. I don't have any. You shouldn't be taking one. We don't need a fucking tea break, okay? The next voicemail we have, though, is a wonderful one. A voicemail that brings me some real nostalgia, really elicits some nostalgia. Let's listen in.
Hey, Gob.
Hey.
I'm just calling to tell you about how I've stolen pretty much my dad's entire whiskey collection, which had a approximate worth of around like $700 to $1,000. And he hasn't found out yet. But when he does, I imagine I'm fucked. So.
Listen, bro, I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason I'm listening to this voicemail is because I love it. Me and all my friends used to do this shit. I grew up, listen, my dad never drank. Like, he would drink one beer after work, and like that was it. He never drank hard liquor, never would get drunk, never did that. And my mom never drank either when I was young. So I had no liquor to steal. But my friends, bro, I had friends who grew up in like wealthy neighborhoods, and I would go over to their houses and we'd go in their basement. And in particular, I had this homie named Sid, and Sid would jug the fuck out of his dad, dude. His dad had the sickest bar built into their basement full of bottles, and he would yoink them every time we drive up to the city to go wash boats for cash to buy weed with. And like, dude, oh my fucking God. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a universal experience that every high school kid goes through. Stealing whiskey from your parents is like a rite of passage. If your parents have intoxicants in the house and you don't steal them right after your balls finish dropping, then like you're a pussy. You're not living life correctly, and I'd argue like you need to change that right now. If you're listening to this and you've never stolen a bottle of alcohol from your parents, I got bad news for your parents, because you should go down there and take a swig out of that shit right fucking now. I'm in Minecraft, not in real life. I'm kidding. I can't tell minors to drink on here. Either way, though, this is something that is so common, and my friend did get busted for it eventually. And you know what happened? Fuck all. He had to like do some chores over the weekend. I think as an adult, from my POV, if I had kids and I stored a bunch of whiskey in my open bar in the basement, and my kids grew up to high school age and didn't steal my whiskey, I'd be disappointed. I'd be like, dude, are you fucking stupid? Like, what have you been doing your whole high school career, dude? Are you just like playing the trombone, dude? Like, what do you like? Go get drunk and like crash into a tree or something, dude. Just like I did. Like, come on, figure it the fuck out, man. I wouldn't worry about it too much, dude. I mean, all I'm going to say is like, hey, it happens to everybody, dude. It happens to everybody. I wouldn't worry about it. The next person that we have to speak to today is someone who left a voicemail about robbing their local smoke shop and throwing things at the cashier who chased them out. Let's listen in.
Hey, Goblin. So since today's topic is drugs and getting in trouble, I want to talk
stop
about
right there. He completely added that second part himself to fit the narrative, okay? Getting in trouble had absolutely nothing to do with today's topic. It was entirely just drugs. This guy has completely molded the topic, but I'll let it slide because the smoke shop, I mean, drug users are their main clientele, and they sell drugs nowadays, so, I mean, I'll let it slide.
That I got arrested for stealing from a smoke shop and almost caught an assault charge because I was throwing some of the shit that I had at the guy that was chasing me.
Wow.
So, yeah, if you want to hear about that, call me, because it was fucking stupid and ridiculous. Bye.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What do you mean stealing from a smoke shop, though? It's all behind glass. You just ask to see something and fucking run? Like, what do you mean? Let's ring him up. Let's bang his line. So far, by the way, oh, wait, no, I shouldn't jinx it. Oh, my God. Everyone's answered today. He's not going to pick.
Hello?
Yo, you're on the Gobcast. You mind being recorded?
No, I don't mind at all. Holy shit.
What's going on, dude? I heard you robbed a little smoke shop, huh?
Yeah, I did. Wow, I really wasn't expecting this. Fuck, I'm high right now.
That's okay.
Hi.
Tell me about this, though. What happened? What did you steal?
Well, for reference, I was like fucking 17 running on. No, yeah, I just turned 18, maybe like a month before this.
Okay.
I was just fucking stupid and a fiend. I went to a smoke shop in a fucking mall.
Okay.
Not going to name where. It was somewhere in the lower 48. I live way far up north now. But I ended up asking for like a few different things, and then he put them on the counter, and I kind of just kept my hand on it while we were talking and just grabbed it and dipped. And I didn't notice that they were chasing me, but once I did, I started kind of like throwing shit.
Okay.
Like the shit that I took at them, and it was just the most ridiculous crap. Funny thing about it, I ended up shitting myself.
What?
Running away.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What are the things that you grabbed though? Like what did you want to steal initially?
It was like a fucking nicotine vape and then some fucking Delta 8 bullshit.
Just Delta 8 gummies and a vape?
Not gummies, like a vape.
Oh, so it was just two vapes, one of them nicotine and one of them Delta 8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what, like...
Yeah, no, it was on some bullshit, dude.
Had you ever done this before and gotten away with it, or was this, like, just a first attempt?
No, God, no, this is my first try ever. I mean, I've stolen other shit for my entire goddamn life, but yeah.
Okay, so you grab it off the counter and you start running out. What happens? Are they yelling at you?
One guy starts yelling at me, but I guess the two guys like that were chasing me, they worked in different booths, so I guess like they had the same owner or some shit. But two guys are chasing me. One of them actually like catches up, and I'm just like, yeah, I give up. I make it like barely out of the front door, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck this. I'm in the parking lot. I don't have a car. My plan was to walk home after this.
Just fucking run all the way back?
Yeah, pretty fucking much.
So he gets out there and you fold, and then what? Do you just give the shit back, or like what happens?
By then I'd thrown it at them, honestly.
Oh, so your hands are clean.
Yeah, and pretty much, but I almost caught an assault charge for throwing it at them.
Did they call the police?
Oh, fuck yeah.
So what happened? You just sat there and waited for the cops to show up?
Pretty much. I wasn't running anymore, dude. I'm
What
fucking
the
fat
fuck?
as hell.
Why? You blew it for yourself.
Well, this is a crowded ass mall. I mean, it was in the middle of a mall. Like, what the dingiest fucking shit
Fuck,
ever.
dude. You should have planned this better.
Well, yeah, no shit. I was stupid and like 17, 18.
You're fat and your plan was to just run all the way home with no car? Like,
yeah, no, there's
brother, you
not
should know
any
you need at least an
planning
Uber.
involved in that.
Fuck. So the cops show up, and what happens? Like, what did you get arrested? Did you get a ticket? Or like, what happened?
Oh, fuck yeah, I got arrested. I spent the night in jail. I mean, this is, I don't live there anymore. This is Texas, so they're a bunch of fucking dickheads there, dude.
What did you get charged with?
I think it was just, like, simple theft.
Damn. And how'd you, like, what was the outcome? Did you go to court?
Not even, honestly. I went to court, like, 2 times, and they kept on extending the date. And then my fucking court-appointed lawyer just got me, like, community service.
Oh, so you did go to court. You just basically got nothing out of it. How many community service hours did you get?
Fucking, like, 48, something like that.
40? That's
like nothing.
It's an interesting amount of hours. How'd you do them?
I just went to a animal shelter, did a bunch of laundry.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you learn not to do this again?
Oh, fuck yeah. No, I haven't stolen anything since. I'm on like a fucking 5-year streak, dude.
Well, good for you, dude. You know, I hope in the future you pay for your Delta 8 at the smoke shop, you know?
Oh, I don't smoke none of that bullshit anymore, dude. I'm in a legal state now. It's great.
There you go. There you go. You're living much better now. Just
Oh, yeah.
stay the hell out of Texas by the sounds of it.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, it sucks there.
Well, thank you for calling in. You have a good rest of your day.
You have a good rest of your day, too.
Yep, bye-bye.
And hey, fuck Texas. Anyone from Texas, fuck you.
Damn. What? Even the people?
Even the people. Yeah, they all suck. Their brains are fried from the heat. They're all terrible.
Damn. Okay. We're probably going to get some unhappy comments about that, but all right.
Yeah, good. Let them be unhappy. They can frown.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You guys heard him. All right. Well.
All right. Love you.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Catch you later.
Say I love you, too.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it to another man I don't know.
God fucking damn it. I love you.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it to another guy I don't know. I don't do that. That's not how I do it.
You know me now.
I don't even know your name. I don't know anything about you. You lived in Texas one time and you steal. That's the only thing I know. I don't love that. Neither of those traits would make me.
You can love it. You can love it, Goblin. Trust me.
I can't say it. I can't do it, but I can't.
All right. Bye-bye.
I appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You as well. Love you.
Nope. That's that. Nope. Not saying that shit back. Nope. I don't do that. That's not how we're doing it. Nope. Nobody. Either way, let's listen to one more voicemail before we dive into our comment section for today. The next voicemail we have is from someone who coughed up blood from taking a rip too hard. Let's go ahead and listen in. I have a story of this to share my own, so let's listen in.
Hey, Goblin. 1 second. Just give me 5 seconds.
Bro needs extra time on the voicemail.
I ripped half a G by myself a couple Fridays ago.
Okay.
And I woke up in the morning, fucking went and spit in the toilet, just a fat glob of fucking blood. And I did not like the way that looked. It was very unsettling. Just want to know if that's normal. I didn't want to look it up. I just figured I'll just ask you about it now.
Great idea, W, dude. Brilliant. Just ask me, dude, the high school dropout instead of a doctor. First and foremost, you should go to the doctor. 100%. You should go consult a medical professional. And what I'm about to say is not medical advice, but it could just be a tear in your esophagus. The reason I say that is because recently my girl had come home from a hike and she also coughed up blood shortly after, and we went to the ER. I took her to the ER and we sat there together for 6 hours on a Friday night, peak hours. It was crowded in there. We didn't even get a room. It wasn't a nice area for her to lay down. We're literally sitting in a folding chair in a waiting area. They had taken her into the side room to do some analysis on her chest and some other stuff. And we're literally just sitting in this hot room with no AC on a folding chair on a Friday night. And there's these old people across from us who keep talking to us in half Spanish, half English. And I only speak English and she speaks both. So I only understand half the conversation. It just wasn't great. And we sat there for all those hours. And mind you, I spent $500 on the copay just for the visit. And do you know what they told us? It might just be a tear in the esophagus from strenuous exercise, and if even that, but they don't have any reason for concern, and they think that she should just go home and take it easy. They literally just sent us home and told us to fuck off. Lo and behold, it's never happened again since. Sometimes it's just some weird freak thing. Our body's just being silly for a brief moment. I wouldn't overstress yourself out about it. I wouldn't start tweaking about coughing up blood, although I'm sure that would make me tweak too. But firsthand, from what I've witnessed, sometimes it just seems to happen. I would go to the doctor though, bare minimum. I would go to the doctor and just confirm, because if it on the off chance happens to be something more serious, it's very serious. Coughing up blood doesn't happen unless you've got a real problem or it's just something silly. Your body just being silly. I don't know, but that's my input. And I had to sit there the whole time at the ER, and it was a very unpleasant ER. And the chairs had no cushioning, and they didn't even give us a room. So we're just hanging out, just sitting there, just talking. It's fuck, dude. Fuck me, man. Fuck me. But either way, ladies and gents, let's go ahead and read some comments this week. Or actually, I forgot. Before we read comments, I didn't even speak on any of the stuff that I wanted to share this week, which is actually, I have nothing drug related except for a couple things. First off, I recently had a friend hit me up because he got a Xanax script. And he said to me, he's like, bro, I got my Xanax script. It's super easy. You should go do it too. And I don't plan on doing so, but I was intrigued by what he was telling me. I was like, what do you mean? Let me pull this up real quick. He sent me a script. He's like, bro, just say this. And mind you, this is my homie who's my age. I think he might be a year older than me or younger than me, give or take. But we're pushing 30 years old. And this fucking dude sends me his script, his guaranteed W script for getting Xans. Do you want to hear this shit? He says, tell the doctor, yo, I have anxiety when I fly. My friend gives me a Xanny when we fly together, and it helps me be able to sleep and feel less anxious, but I don't know where he gets it. And I want to be able to make sure I don't do Fent or a street drug. So my mom told me to visit the doctor and tell him about my anxiety flying. This guy is like pushing 30. Talking about my mom told me to go to the doctor and tell him I'm nervous. But somehow I guess it worked for him, dude, because right after he sent me a picture of his prescription bottle. And then he said, make sure you follow up with, I'm not trying to abuse it. I just need it because my job requires me to fly a lot to different countries. You can give me the minimal amount possible. California doctors are fucking crazy. I feel like this is the only state on earth, the only state in the country that you can just walk into the doctor's office and be like, dude, I already popped Xans for fun on flights. And like, I just want to make sure they're not fatty. And they'll actually just write you a script. I remember when I got in a car accident shortly after moving here in November of 2023, I fucking went to the doctor and I walked in and like my insurance had sent me to this guy and I sit down and he asked me, he's like, do you feel any pain? And I'm like, I'm okay right now. And he's like, do you need any pills? Like, you need any prescriptions? Like, he just asked me straight up. He's like, what do you want? I can write you a script for it. Like, you just let me know. I could not fucking believe it, dude. Doctors out here are different. They'll just hand you shit. They'll just give you a script, whatever the fuck you want, no problem. Also, now that we've covered that, I have a non-drug related update. You know, on the Mario Party situation that I talked about last week. You know, I briefly highlighted how I let the AI randomly choose whose star to take. Happened to land on my girl's star, and she got very mad at me and quit playing the game before we finished. I'd like to highlight that yesterday we played another game of Mario Party. This was our first like reconciliation game, and she did win the game. She did win the game. It was close. She also stole my star at one point, but I kept thugging on because that's what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to play it. And I think her seeing my valiant effort and, you know, my completely, you know, unwavered dedication and demeanor when my star was stolen from me, you know, just really inspired her, I think. The stat line was nuts. Listen, I had bought 4 stars during that Mario Party game. 4 stars I'd bought, and I ended with 1 single star. 4 stars. I ended with 1. I was getting jugged all game. It's just the way it goes. But, yeah, you know, it should be good for now. You know, should be good for now. She won yesterday, so she'll be riding off that high for a few months at least. You know, so we're good to go. But either way, that's my update for everyone who commented about it. Let's get into the comment section, ladies and gents, because boy, oh boy, do we have some good ones. First and foremost, we have Colin Marsh 9360, who seems to be confused. He said in all caps here, thank God there's finally another call-in episode. I've been rewatching over and over and over again. And the only reason I'm reading this is because this is not the first person who said this to me. Just this past weekend when I was in Phoenix, Arizona, filming with King Hillbilly, which is next week's episode that you guys are going to see, there was a guy who I was chatting with who was a viewer, and he was like, dude, like, why'd you guys stop making caller episodes? I love them. And we've never stopped making caller episodes. I don't know. So I don't know if the algorithm just like isn't pushing caller episodes the same way or what is happening. But there is a group, a small subset of the viewer base that seems to believe caller episodes are a rare occasion and not every other week unless the schedule changes. Generally, we go caller, guest, caller, guest. Sometimes we double up caller, caller, guest. On rare occasions, we do guest, caller, you know, but, you know, I feel like we drop quite an abundance of these callers shows. I don't know. But yeah, Colin Marsh, I guess, thank God himself. You know, we do have yet another caller episode coming in today, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Next comment we have is from Gavin Freeman. He says, paranoia that randomly hits you is real. I've been smoking consecutively for 10 years, and out of nowhere 2 years ago, I can't get high the same. If overdo it is what he meant to say. I had to dissect that. That was really difficult. Gavin Freeman butchered that shit. If I overdo it, straight paranoia and a terrible time. It's gotten better by forcibly making myself deal with it head on, but like you said, it's never the same. I had to ad-lib a lot of that, bro. It's like he took all the connecting words out of his comment. Just left in a bunch of nouns in that shit. Dude, that was a brutal one. But I will say I kind of relate to that. As I get older, it's like I haven't started smoking less necessarily, although now I have. But like this started before I started smoking less. I feel like sometimes if I take a fat dab or I get really high, I do get kind of anxious and I get a little nervous about it in a way that like when I was younger, I just wouldn't get that way. I would be very relaxed. I'd be very chill. And the higher I got, the more I enjoyed myself. But all of a sudden, it seems like that's changed a little bit. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's just something with getting older. But even then, it doesn't seem to be as much of an age thing as it is how long you've been smoking. Like, it seems regardless of when you started and when it started happening, the most common denominator is all of these people have been smoking for like years and years and years and handled it normally, and all of a sudden they can't. It makes me wonder if there's some sort of like limit in our brain of our cannabinoid receptors where eventually they just say, fuck this shit, I'm not taking it any longer. I don't know. But very common thing that happens where people who smoke a lot just start getting paranoid. And I've experienced it too, and it does suck. I mean, it fucking sucks. There's nothing you can do about it, basically. You just have to sit there and just get out. That's all. The next comment we have is from Pat Phoenix 999, and he says, downloading Hinge right now, in response to the last episode. Dude, listen, I've been on dating apps myself. I actually was there for the Wild West of dating apps, okay? Tinder came out when I was like a freshman in high school. Like I was either in 8th grade or a freshman in high school when Tinder came out. And you could be 13 years old and sign up for Tinder, which was the most f***ed up part. Tinder used to be for like teenagers could sign up for Tinder. And the only age verification was just typing in a number. And like, I remember when I was young, it was a hellscape. You had to jump through like actual full-on pedophiles lying about their age to match with some girl who like would like respond to one of your messages and like maybe you'd meet up with the chick. Because when you're younger, when we were all in high school, it felt way different than an adult being on a dating app. You know, as kids, we were like, oh, this whole thing, it feels like we're not even supposed to be on here, you know? To be fair, we're not. I don't think young people are allowed on Tinder anymore, but when I was younger, they sure would. I've never had a fully positive experience from a dating app. I've gone on a few dates. I've hooked up with a few girls from dating apps, and like, dude, it is not worth it every time. Oh my God. I was about to start dumping. No, we'll save that for a different day. What I will say is like a dating app better be your last resort. Like you need to exercise every other option because you got to understand on a dating app, like that is people who have also exercised their every other option unless they're just there for hookups. If you hop on a dating app and you're actually there to try to date somebody, buddy, I'm going to tell you right now, you're fucked, dude. She has syphilis. All right. You're in trouble. But either way, next up, we have a comment here from Dat Walrus Boy, and he says, Goblin, I'm hyped for the 420 sale on Only Gas. Yeah, that's right, 420 sale, 30% off all month. You know where to find it. But I'm curious, what happened to the vapes? I've been interested in getting another one, or hopeful, actually, by it all month, I mean until the 22nd, so actually all month my ass. But either way, I've been interested in getting another vape. Or hopeful that you work with your plug to make vapes. Listen, there was a weird change in the legal definition of a hemp vape that made us unable to sell them currently. And already vapes were like a strange product for the hemp market because you can't fill a vape with 100% like THCA, rosin, or anything like that by weight and by definition of what makes that product legal. Because concentrates and oils are weighed slightly differently, you have to put in like CBD or other things like that. That definition recently changed again, which made making those vapes a little complicated. And until we have more clarity from legal on like what we can do to make a legal vape product, it's just not something we're not willing to break the law. We follow all the laws. We, are pretty strict about that. We're not around with that because we don't want to go to jail. So, doing what we got to do. For now, vapes are MIA, but hey, all your flour and hash and everything you like on Only Gas, including the $50 ounces, are still there, buddy. Don't even worry about it. Next comment here from Less Smoke a Lot Square 8288. I probably butchered that one, but he said, I'm a high school dropout and started working at 17 and worked my way up the ladder. Fell a bunch of times, but never gave up. Getting HVAC certified soon. Been working maintenance at a college. Point of all this is anybody can be somebody. Just got to try, my friends. Yo, a lot of you guys, the reason I read this comment is because a lot of you guys call in or you comment and you're like, man, I don't know. I feel lost. I feel like I can't do this. And like, I have friends who are quite literally some of the slowest mother ever met. Like, they're my homies, but they're objectively stupid. And they would agree with me saying this right now, that like are working great jobs, making great money and supporting themselves at a young age, all because they just worked hard and tried, you know? And the interesting thing about life is like, no matter how smart or stupid you might be, as long as you just try hard, you can make it happen. That is the key, though. You can't just be lazy and expect things to just spawn in for you. You got to try. You got to try. But yeah, that's great advice. You know, hey, if college isn't for you, just go get an HVAC certified. Go get forklift certified, buddy. Hit the warehouse up. Get it done. Do what you got to do. Next comment here we have is from Prod Causey, and he says, any relationship calls on the Gobcast make me appreciate my wife a lot more. These women, bro. Wow. Yeah, I listened to your guys' relationship problems, like the 16-year-old who's like, dude, this girl I was hooking up with is 6 years older than me, and she popped out a kid of mine and has a Marine boyfriend at home. It makes me so grateful that my biggest relationship issue right now is like taking stars in Mario Party. You know, it's like, damn, bro. Dude, I'm telling you guys right now, dude, you get in a solid relationship, you got to lock it down, dude. It's ugly out here. It's evil out here, okay? I mean, dude, you saw last week's episode. It's really evil out here, dude. You got bipolar eco-socialists, dude, that'll screenshot and post your messages right now, dude, just because you're horny. That's all you did. It's the only offense you committed. You got horny. You know, it's an evil world that we live in right now. You know, it's just not nice. So, yeah, be grateful for what you have at home. You know, that's some good input right there. Next comment we have is from Chrome Content, and he says, the first few times Gob had to remind us about how to call in felt like a peer joking, giving shit for a brief moment. But this time, it especially feels more like a parent who's completely given up on their kid, ever turning their life around for the better. You know, I say it every week because I know that there's new viewers. If there's even one new viewer every week, then you got to tell them how to call in, just so they know for future reference. But after that, you're on your own, bro. Like, I say it every week because I get comments repeatedly from the same people. And sometimes I'll have people who get so worked up about it that they'll come in my Twitch chat, my live stream chat, and they'll start spamming the chat. They'll be like, Goblin, listen to my voice, man. I called you, bro. I just called you. Listen in. When do I call in? And it's like, man, at that point, I just view it as like a natural call filter. Like, I'm not going to lie. I explained it in the first 3 minutes of today's episode. If you still can't figure it out, dude, I don't know, dude. It might not be meant for you. There's just no other way to put it. But I do get disappointed as the episodes go on and I get more repeat commenters who I recognize. I'm like, dude, you just asked me how to call last week. Like, how have you, it's taken you, it's been 7 days. You still haven't figured it out? Like, brother, the phone number's on the screen. Like, it's literally just click my Instagram story. So, yeah, sometimes I do get a little disappointed. But my bad. Next comment we have here is from Janae Rose, and she says, Goblin, you honestly told them some local shit. This is in response to my advice to the commenter last episode, or I think it was a caller, actually. He was taking his girl on a date in Chicago. This commenter says, obviously all fire, but don't forget Shedd Aquarium, Brookfield Zoo, Field Museum, and the Museum of Science and Industry. Chicago legit has some of the best zoos and museums. 100%. 1,000,000%. Also, they got to hit up Woodfield Mall and see something at the United Center. Y'all can skip Navy Pier. This shit's overrated, but definitely hit up a boat tour. Listen, I'm going to dissect this comment right here, okay? As a diehard Chicago lover, okay? Shedd Aquarium, must visit. Absolute must visit. 10 out of 10. You have to go. I go all the time. I can't even count on my fingers how many times, fingers and toes, where I swear I legitimately can't even count how many times I've been to Shedd. I love it. I love that shit. One of the best aquariums in the country. I am a sucker for a good aquarium, and that is by far my favorite aquarium. It is beautiful in there. Brookfield Zoo, you could probably skip Brookfield Zoo. It's better than the Lincoln Park Zoo, but it's kind of out of the way. And like, I mean, you got to Uber at least like a good 45 minutes to get to the Brookfield Zoo from downtown Chicago where they're staying. I don't think it's worth going out of the way for. It's a pretty average zoo. If you want to go to a good zoo, I mean, hey, you got to take a trip to San Diego or something like that. San Diego Zoo is unbelievable. Best one I've ever been to. But Illinois Zoo game is pretty weak. It's really not worth going. Field Museum, that's a dub. I'll agree with that. Field Museum is a huge W, and it is very dependent on what exhibits are going because they swapped them out a lot. But generally, the Field Museum is sick as f***. And all the stuff in the basement, do not sleep on. It feels like the basement exhibits like aren't part of the main museum when you first go there. Trust me, do not sleep on the basement. Go down there, hit all the little like Egyptian exhibits, hit that shit up. Hit it. Museum of Science and Industry. Pretty good. I think I enjoyed it more when I was a kid. I went fairly recently, like 2022-ish, and it was cool, but there was some stuff I definitely skipped there. I think it's cooler when you're really young. But like as an adult, Museum of Science and Industry does get a little bit old. That is a museum, like, I don't know, I'd call that like, you got to have a real specific kind of autism to go there repeatedly as an adult, you know, like a real specific one, like the trains and planes kind of autism, you know, which if you do, yeah, bro, they got a spot for you in downtown Chicago. But yeah, all the other recommendations there, Shed Aquarium, Field Museum, those are absolute must hits in my opinion. United Center's not that special. Woodfield Mall, I don't think either of those are that special, honestly. United Center's cool. It's a good venue for shows, but like the venue itself is not memorable. Like United Center, in my opinion, is not like, you're not like, oh man, the United Center made that so special. No, there's just generally good shows there. Navy Pier does suck dick. I wholeheartedly agree. Navy Pier sucks. It is a full-on tourist trap. Never go to Navy Pier. But yeah, the boat tours, the architecture tours in particular. I took an architectural boat tour recently. I had like there was a big family gathering. We were celebrating my mom's birthday downtown, and I like flew back to Chicago to, you know, show up for her birthday. It's a big surprise and everything. Didn't tell her. And we went on this like big architectural boat tour, and it was actually really cool, bro. I've been to Chicago a million times, grew up in the area my whole life, and I learned a lot of stuff I never knew. You know, they really, like, you go all the way up and down the river and they tell you everything, bro. All the iconic buildings you can see, they tell you all of it, you know, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I would say boat tours a W, Field Museum's a W, Shed Aquarium's a W, Science Industry, Brookfield Zoo, I'd skip that. And the Mall United Center, I'd skip that too. That's my response, honestly. But listen up, folks. It's been episode 107, an absolute banger in the books once again. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I don't typically do this, but next week's episode is going to be an absolute banger, and you better not miss it because I flew all the way out to Phoenix, Arizona, and filmed King Hillbilly for his 18-year sobriety barbecue. And it was a good time. It was a damn good time. I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.
You're now watching the Gobcast. Viewer discretion is advised.